Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Wow, what a fabulous day it is. I'll tell you what, I woke up this morning, felt so much more refreshed. Don't know why I had a much better sleep. Anyway, look at how beautiful it is out here. Oh, nice and sunny, and the sky is blue. I think it's going to turn out to be an amazing day, and whatever you are, I hope you're having an amazing one too. Guys, the article that I was reading today should give every one of us a deep level of pause. And what I'm talking about there is, in this article, a lot of these three-letter agencies are out there and they're collecting information on you and I from our, all these third-party, applications and all this kind of stuff, and they're out there buying it from them and building up a data bank on all of the intimate details. You would not believe the level of detail that they're getting from this information. And why should that give us pause? Well, guys, a lot of times we're given access to a lot of these applications, all kinds of access to, our texts, our phone messages, our internet histories, or this and that. I mean, just to get a calculator on your phone, they want you to give permissions for stuff that makes absolutely zero sense. Why does a calculator need to know all of your contacts and your text message history, and on and on and on it goes? Because, guys, it's not the calculator, is it? It is the market for your and my personal data. And it's disturbing that the government agencies, all these three-letter agencies, are going out there and getting it, because guys, it's against the law for them to collect this information on their own. So what they're doing is they're relying on the private sector to do it, then they're buying it off of them. And I'll tell you, it is really absolutely disturbing. And for me, I think to myself, hey, look, do I really need all this stuff? And do I need to give all of my personal information on all these various platforms and all this kind of stuff just for the convenience of, showing someone else what I had for dinner 3 nights ago kind of deal? Absolutely no way. To me, guys, it is just the cost is way too high. Our anonymity is something that we need to protect. And most folks are forfeiting that anonymity just for the sake of a little few conveniences. It is not worth it in my estimation. And especially when you consider this, those of us in this digital asset space, what are we really, really big time concerned about? Well, we're big time concerned about protecting that anonymity and our identity when it comes to our digital assets, right? Well, guys, in this space, I'll tell you what, the level of information that is being collected in some of these digital asset, platforms and all these various dApps is to the obscene, more than what you could even fathom in a lot of cases. Now, when I used to work for the federal government up there in Canada, let me share this with you. We didn't always have to go to court to get a court order to obtain information and stuff like that. Do you realize there's legislation out there? And they can do this ex parte, which means without your notice, to serve requirements to various legal entities to provide information, and those legal entities have no choice but to cough it up. And we're not just talking about, there's that. I mean, we're talking about intimate details, your banking records. Do you know they can get text messages and the history of those messages, your phone records? I mean, it goes on and on and on. Now, if you're a subject of an investigation, that's what powers that the government is afforded to have. But what most folks don't even realize is they willingly forfeit big time sensitive information when they approve a lot of these applications. And why is that? Look at the licensing agreements. Do you think most people read that when, they get their downloaded calculator, whatever that little game is that they want on their phone, or that that app they just can't do without? Absolutely not. Most don't even read that. Then you start taking a look at some of these social media platforms and the information that they want and that you forfeit, and then when you upload your information to them, it no longer is yours. They own it. And that is kind of the deal that's going down. And when you think of all of this information being collected, why are they collecting all that? Why are they needing all that and not just arbitrary, meaning, if they're doing a study and there's no way to link it back to an identity and they just are collecting it? No, 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 guys. They're linking it back to individual persons and keeping that on record. And I'm telling you guys, we want to be so, so vigilant. You got to really protect your online footprint. I know for Judy and I, when we got into this space and stuff like that, we had decided, look, we're going to scrub our online footprint there. We'll keep some stuff on, obviously. We're going to have our YouTube and all that kind of stuff. But for a lot of it, we just deplatformed ourselves. It just wasn't worth it. There's just too many people out there. When you come out and you're sharing stuff like we are in this space to really give people, that transparent view of what can happen in a person's life and how things can change just like that. And you could experience, some amazing turnarounds in such a great, and this space affords that opportunity. Well, you go out and you start sharing that. Well, what does that do? Guys, it kind of makes you a bit of a target, doesn't it? There's all kinds of bad actors out there, people that, will kind of try to take advantage and find out this and that and whatever. And your security matters big time. You might want to think about, squeezing back, making your online footprint a lot less. And another thing too, guys, all these smart appliances. So basically you can have, all these devices that these various companies makes in your home, but they're constantly listening, and all of that data, whatever you talk about, it's all being stored. It's an absolute fact. And then on top of that, it's being sold. That is what's the most amazing thing, because you would think in these privacy agreements that they don't have a right to do it. Well, guys, read the fine print, and you'll find out that they do profit on that information, and it's a big, big deal. So, hey, be more vigilant about it, because, of course, in this space, when we're talking about central bank digital currencies and their introduction into our new monetary system that we're all moving into, what is the one major deal that a lot of people are up in arms about? Yep, you guessed it. It is the social control and the loss of our anonymity when it comes to our financial transactions. Cash affords us that. CBDCs, hey, it can be programmed right in there. They know the day it was created and all the way back to whoever had it and where it went and on and on and on. And I'm telling you guys, that's why, in some countries around the world, you're seeing literally social controls tied to the central bank digital currencies. And we know for a fact that the Federal Reserve was sending over, documents not for public distribution, where they were proposing some social controls in the American CBDCs. And when people got a wind of that, boy, I'll tell you what, it started up quite a stir. And you have states right now that have literally made bills that are not going to allow those kind of central bank digital currencies to survive or even thrive because of that awareness. And that's where you kind of get out and your voice matters. Make your voice known. Hey, let them know, look, we're not against the technology or the implementation of the technology, because yes, we want conveniences that can really change our lives to the better. But that doesn't mean we're forfeiting our individual liberty to have those conveniences when it's not required. And just because something can be used in a particular way doesn't mean that it should be used in that way. And that is where we kind of get out there and let our, let them know what our 2 cents is. And guys, don't think it doesn't matter. It does make a big difference. I heard a statistic one time that said basically for every letter that is written into one of these congressmen and senators, it represents over 1,000 votes. And believe you me, enough letters come in on the same issue with the same tone and the same kind of concerns. Hey, they know right there that could be thousands upon thousands of votes that, are dealing with this issue, and they start to listen. I'm telling you, and 2024 is what? It's an election year here in the U.S., and I think that we could see some major movement in this digital asset space. And I'll tell you what, when it comes to me and my household, and when we're looking at some of these candidates, because, hey, I'm not yet able to vote here in the United States, but my family is, and we talk about it. And what we talk about Or hey, we want to see people that really support this space in a healthy way, and candidates that will come out and publicly state their position on this digital asset space and what they really see for it going forward. That matters to us in a big way, and it should matter to most Americans in a big way, and around the world in your jurisdictions in a big way. And why is that? Because it's going to literally transform the way the world genuinely works, and not just on a financial level. We're talking about all of our information and all of our data, and how distributed ledger technology is going to be used in a multiplicity of applications that are going to affect our futures for us, our children, and our grandchildren going forward. It is that big of a deal. Well, guys, anyhow, I sure hope that the start of your Thursday is an absolute fantastic one. And until later on when we have an amazing video to release to you, I sure hope that it continues to be a great day, and take care.